Hello everyone. Don't really know where to start tonight. I just had quite a strange experience, which was like adrenaline, fear-based, exciting, just crazy actually. So I wanted to share it with you. This is now day 4 of my Mind v Spirit week, and didn't do one yesterday because I went away for spontaneous Wednesday wine with my fiance. So I just wanted to share this with you. I was away doing the shopping and stuff on my bike earlier on, which was great, and I was feeling so lucky about myself and my life, and just so grateful about everything and the universe. And I had my headphones on and I was cycling, and everything was great. Got a load of shopping, parked on my bike, went to do some writing in a lovely hotel lobby, and had a coffee and did some writing. Was feeling really blissed out. Looked at my clock, as I often do, and it was 11 minutes past, which is generally a sign of something good or confirmation. It's kind of hard looking at yourself. Don't really enjoy this, but hey, that's okay. On video, I mean. So it was dark, and sort of the lights dimmed behind me in the well, it was actually the bar, and it was dark outside, and suddenly my bike was parked outside, chained, and I said to the lady, I said, I'm a little bit scared that my bike will get stolen, because I've had quite a few stolen in the past. Quite generally my fault, but this time it wouldn't have been. So I just said that, and then about 2 minutes later, all these BMX bikes went past the window, and I couldn't really see because it was glary and it was dark, and they started shouting things, and and it was obviously teenage kids, and great. I've been there myself and done probably worse than that, by far worse than that in my time when I was younger. Anyway, so I started to get a little bit on nerves, and I then began to get scared, and I began to get scared that they would steal my bike, take the shopping off my bike, wreck my bike in some way, and I just went into a horrible, horrible place. And well, 3/4 of me went into a horrible, horrible place, and I kept trying to say, look, it doesn't matter, they're just kids, they're just playing, blah, blah, blah. And they were becoming a little bit intimidating to some of the guests, and sort of the old me would have felt the need to sort of step in and do something, and, or say something, but that certainly isn't what I would do at this moment in time anyway, under those circumstances. And I sort of tuned into my spirit guides. I said, look, I know this is happening, and I know this is meant to happen, and I'm not really comfortable with it. Can you please take it away? Which normally they just take it away. But they just kept staying, and then I was getting a little bit nervous, so I could no longer write. And it was all generally about the fear of something happening to my bike, and perhaps the fact that I may have to enter into confrontation with them. Sorry if I've got a glare on my head, by the way, but that's me. Anyway, it went really quiet, and I saw one guy and it was kind of a little bit like a spooky film. It was all shadows, and you couldn't make the faces out and stuff, and they were coming up to the window, and so I was kind of ignoring them, and kind of just trying to let everything be and accept where we were, and then the door burst open, and they sort of all ran through and started shouting, and it's this lovely hotel, it's. So I just sort of kept myself to myself and just carried on doing what I was doing, or trying to. And then I actually began to perhaps fear for own personal safety a little bit. Now, I'm 6'4" and getting into reasonable shape again, and but I felt if I have to defend myself, I don't imagine I could even hit anybody anymore, because of the way I am, the way I've changed, and. So then that fear element began to creep in. But I also just kept saying to myself, look, it's meant to be happening. There's a reason. Whatever it is, it'll be fine. And I kind of just wanted to go home to what I would feel probably safety. But I then became scared to go outside, and I was like, this is just ridiculous, and I couldn't tell you how old it was, but I'd probably say 15. But there was quite a few of them, and I couldn't say, maybe 6, 7. And it's not bad area or anything, it's just, I just felt uncomfortable. But they were just kids being kids, and not even threatening in any way, but I just began to let fear creep in. And then the hotel manager or whoever he is came up, locked the door, and they said, "Do you want to bring your bike inside?" So it's, and I thought, well, do I, or am I just giving in to fear? And I said, well, no, I'll leave it for now. And then I just began again to go into myself and just said to myself, look, I'm not going to let this affect me. And don't get me wrong, I understand in this world there's far, far, far more brutal and intimidating and awful things taking place. So this is really weird looking at myself. But anyway, I'm doing it. So, but, you know, I was scared, and I don't mind admitting it, I wasn't petrified, but I was scared, and I was beginning then to invent things in my mind. Right, what if I go outside and try and get my bike and they come and try and steal it off me when I'm unlocking it? What if they, you know, try and beat me up, or, you know, and I even thought, what if they got knives and all sorts of silly things, which of course is possible, and I acknowledge that, but I just said to myself, I'm not going to let this fear creep in and ruin my happiness and my bliss. And I was writing some really nice things. So I tried to shut everything out. I couldn't shut everything out at this moment in time, being honest, but I tried my best to really, really go into myself and just say, it's going to be okay. And I just put my jacket on, got my rucksack, got on my bike, and okay, I pedalled home a little bit faster than I normally would, but I suppose what I'm saying is I fought the fear and I faced it. Because if I'd have let it take over, I would have stayed in there for a lot longer. So I faced the fear and I got through it, and I found the reason was for it, I believe, possibly was for me to just share it with you. Now, I'm not saying don't ever put yourself in dangerous situations, because that would just be foolish, but we are surrounded by things that we're scared of. Luckily for me, I generally, in recent times, don't get particularly scared of anything, but that was sent there to test me, because I needed to experience that, and it was kind of good in some ways because the adrenaline was huge, but sort of a natural high. But it reminds me of when I was at school, and I wouldn't say I got bullied at school, but I got hit a few times, and it was always because I would never avoid the place where the guys were that would do this, and they're all good guys now. There's no problem, but I would always go where I knew they would be, just to show them that they couldn't, you know, they couldn't bully me, which was kind of stupid. So don't ever put yourself in harm's way. But whatever may be scaring you, if you accept that it's happening for a reason, try and feel past it. And the other thing, what I really wanted to say is, I was completely safe. This is the real reason, actually. This is the real message, if there's such a thing. I was completely safe. I was locked in the hotel. You know, if they had knives or whatever, baseball bats, they couldn't have got in. So I was safe. My physical being was safe. Now, my bike potentially wasn't, but I shouldn't have that attachment to my bike. I shouldn't have attached myself so much to the worrying about my bike and my shopping, because it was all replaceable. So the real lesson here is, don't attach yourself to personal items and fear for their loss or whatever. One, it's probably insured. Two, you can replace it. Three, it's stuff is only stuff, and stuff is only stuff. It really is. Any stuff is only stuff. All this stuff around us is just stuff. Life and spirit and love is real. Stuff is stuff. Okay, listen, lots of love to everyone, and I hope you're all well. Thanks for watching. Hate looking at myself. Can't even turn it off.